YouTube. It is Christine with Souls Rising. I am hopping on today with some oracle messages. This video is for the sign of Cancer. So if you have Cancer as your sun, moon, or your rising sign, stick around for your messages. These are collective messages. They are timeless. Whenever it comes to you, it is the time that you need to hear it. Because they are collective messages, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and apply it to your situation in the way that makes the most sense to you. I'm going to jump right in with the oracle cards, and then we will move over to the tarot just to dig into the energies a little bit more deeply. So let's get started. What do my Cancerians need to know at this time? All right, Cancer, let me show you the cards that we got. First card up, we have the 5th chakra healing card, which is Archangel Gabriel. In this deck, this is my card of incoming messages or communications. And it was followed immediately by the Sun. And I heard good news, okay? So some good news coming in. I do feel like for most of my Cancers watching this as well, that this is actually news you have been waiting to hear or waiting on specifically. That may not be everybody watching this, but I do believe for the majority of you, this is news coming in that you have been expecting or almost like chomping at the bit for, waiting for, hoping for, okay? And then we have the heart chakra or 4th chakra healing card, Archangel Raphael. And I was getting an energy of vulnerability coming up with this card too. So I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. I want to show you the rest of the cards. And then after that, we have anxiety, worry, fear, stressing out. I feel like this is my Cancerians in this card. There's something that it's been on your mind or on your heart, and you've been sort of, debating, going back and forth, or just sort of stressing about. And then we have the World, successful completion of a cycle and ending, something wrapping up, walking away, moving on. It's like on to the next energy. This is a very positive card. It especially next to the World card, it symbolizes that we are wrapping one cycle up and moving on from it successfully into a new chapter, but also a better chapter. And that is followed by the Angel of Balance, which is like lesson learned. Everything is coming back into harmony, things leveling out. This can also talk about emotions coming back to baseline, or if we've been really hurt or upset by a situation, this card can talk about bringing ourselves internally back into a space of peace and calm and feeling good once again in our own energy field. But this can have to do with harmony, of just like pieces coming together, starting to make sense of divine timing and everything sort of unfolding to that divine plan. And then I did ask for some clarity for the 4th chakra, the Archangel Raphael card, and the anxiety card, and I got Healer of the Ages. Just clarifying that you guys have been going through a process of healing that I feel has contributed either to this news that is coming in or to this cycle that is finally closing out. It didn't just happen on its own. It's happening because there's been some level of healing that you have been going through, especially around the heart chakra, because again, I'm being pulled to this figure who sort of resembles Jesus, that all that energy is being expelled through his heart. Okay, and it came out right under that heart chakra healing card. Okay. And then under the anxiety card, we have the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel, which is my card of faith and belief. This is the crown chakra, surrender, okay? And I do feel like you guys had to go through some level of surrender to whatever this situation was that has been painful or has been difficult and challenging. The news feels related, okay? So whatever this news is that's coming in, I do feel it's good news, and it feels like it is like a long time coming, or it's something that you are going to be relieved. It's going to bring relief, or it's sort of like the last straw of a situation being cleared away for you, the last piece, finally, the last hurdle being moved out of the way so that you can move forward finally from what I feel has been a long and difficult time that you have been going through, Cancers. So I also felt with this, I got it a little bit with the fifth chakra card, but I was getting it again with this heart chakra card. I kept getting up this energy of like self-protection. And, you know, Cancer is a sign of, you know, you guys have that, you can have that hard exterior, like the crab, right? It has that hard shell, but then inside you're all soft and mushy, right? There's actually like a lot of emotional energy going on. And I was getting that with both of these cards. You know, I was seeing this like hard sort of outer shell protection here with Archangel Gabriel. And then I was also seeing with the heart chakra card, I don't know if you can see it so well on here, down in this like little corner. Get it a little closer for you guys. Maybe you can kind of see it. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see. There's a section that clairvoyantly to me was beginning to look a little bit like the cervix, a woman's cervix with a little sperm swimming towards it. But then it was covered in what looked like a little spiny shell. And I was also getting like conch shell vibes with this for some reason. And you guys, if you've ever seen a conch that's still in its shell, it's that similar energy. It's this hard, pointy, very protective outer shell. But the conch is a sea creature, a little animal that actually lives inside of the shell. And it's actually just this little fleshy blob. It's very vulnerable if it's not inside of that shell. And of course, you know, the conch is often farmed and used to make conch chowder, similar to like clam chowder. So there's something coming through with this reading, with seeing the conch and seeing sort of this, almost this picture of insemination. I was feeling this sense of vulnerability that is coming in for you guys. So I think some of you, either you've been going through a lesson around learning to open up your heart and be more vulnerable with other people, be more vulnerable to show your emotions more and share them with others. Or you have maybe felt the need in the past to be protective of your feelings, of your emotions. But I feel that whatever caused you to have that hard outer shell, I feel is being healed. Like you're not needing that. You're not needing that as much anymore. There's a softening happening here for you guys, a softening that I feel as a result of healing your heart. And for some of you, there may have been a need to develop faith involved in whatever you were healing. So there could be some element of needing to have your faith restored as a result of what you've been through, maybe difficult, challenging times that you have gone through, or situations that you had to endure where you almost lost faith a bit, either in yourself or I keep getting like your ability to heal. I feel like some of you weren't sure you could heal from this. Whatever this was, it maybe almost felt too hard, or like it would never get better, and you may have sort of walled it up or shielded it up within your heart to protect yourself. And for some of you, that may have actually been causing anxiety or causing some stress. Like maybe you're having like panic attacks or anxiety that you didn't even realize was connected to this issue. All right. But I also feel for some of you, the anxiety card is sort of talking about that you weren't sure if you were ever going to get to this point. You just weren't sure if you were going to heal enough to move on from this. But with the World card showing up, I feel the answer is yes. Yes, you are. You are closing this out. You are strong enough. You have made it. You have done it. And you are going to walk away from this painful chapter, and you're closing the door because you are moving on to brighter and better in your future. Okay. And you notice I'm also being drawn to the fact that girl in that walking away picture, she is wearing the color pink, which is a color of divine unconditional love, but it's also a color that we associate with self-love. So some of you may have had to learn to love yourselves more deeply through this process in order to bring back harmony and bring something within you into balance. And so some of you, I'm hearing, you had to calm this emotional storm within you so that you could move on. All right. You know, sometimes we go through things and the situation itself is done and over, but then we've got all this like emotional turmoil left over from it that's still all churned up that needs to go somewhere. It needs to be processed and integrated still, even though maybe the event itself has resolved. But we still have feelings about it, whatever it was that was done to us or that happened to us. I feel for some of you it was done to you. So there may be some trauma or something connected to a relationship where you felt like you were betrayed or you were hurt in some way that was significant. And in order to move through it, you had to process some feelings. You feel that there's some kind of news or communication coming in connected to this healing journey that you've been on, or this situation in general, that's sort of like the last straw. It's this last thing that I feel is like the key to your freedom, or it's going to help you to finally see that you're ready to move on, that it's time and that it's okay and that you can do this. It's possible that for some of you this is illegal. I'm kind of getting legal situations. Again, sort of the energy of that. So for some of you, maybe there was like a legal situation, like you were waiting on the results of a hearing, or you were waiting to see, it almost reminds me of like when you get a divorce and you're waiting for like alimony, or you're waiting to see if you're going to get child support or like custody, that kind of stuff. So there could be an element of that happening here for some of you. It feels like a breakthrough. It feels like something that you've been waiting on and that it's going finally in your direction. Okay, so let's dig into this more. I want to pull some tarot and kind of see what other light we can kind of shed on that. Because I definitely feel like this communication that's coming in is good news. And then whatever that news is, it feels very connected to this healing journey and this cycle that you are completing and closing out, Cancer. So let's see what we have. Also, some of you might be, this might be pertaining to a job. I keep getting the sense of like some of you are like maybe applied for a job and are waiting to hear back if you're going to get this new job, but maybe it's sort of symbolic for you, like it represents the next step, or that you're ready to move on from something that's been a very painful situation or cycle. So that's not for everybody, but for a few of you, I do feel this like career or job connection coming in. Okay, Cancer. So let's look at the tarot cards that we have coming out. I definitely feel as I'm looking at this spread, this sense of breaking free, of it's almost like finally getting what you need, emotionally speaking, like finally your cup being filled, but it's coming after this like process of what I feel is you breaking free from maybe feeling stifled or feeling controlled for some of you. But it's almost like you had to find your own inner strength and become your own inner warrior in order to put an end to what I feel like was a painful cycle, or in order to put an end to something that was causing you emotional pain. So the first card we have is the Ace of Cups. And this is you, Cancer. I feel like this girl in red is you, whether you're male or female, reaching up for this cup of like, it's not love, it's like having emotional fulfillment. Of finally feeling strong in your own heart, of finally feeling fulfilled, of getting your own needs met, okay? I got that self-love with the Oracle cards, and I kind of was getting that same vibe here. And I keep getting with this Emperor breaking free. I see that like wand he's holding on his lap. I keep seeing him snapping it over his knee and like breaking it. It's like you had to come into your own inner authority, I feel like. You had to say enough of what hurts my heart, enough of what is no longer working for me, enough of what is not for me. Some of you had to break free, and maybe you had to break free from a bad relationship as part of this, or a karmic relationship. Could be with, a masculine energy with the Emperor showing up here, but it could also, the Emperor can represent authority and authority figures. So a parent or a boss, or just somebody who maybe liked to have control over you or made you feel less than. Whether that was in your past or in your more recent, present. But I do feel like this heart healing journey that my Cancers have been on, you guys had to find your strength within your own heart. It's like you had to go within your own self in order to find your strength and your power and to break free from something that I feel had ruled over you for a while, or had a hold over your life. It's almost like you couldn't see your future, or you didn't think you could have the future that you wanted because of this issue or this person or this situation. And then we got Ace of Swords, which is breaking free. She's like, enough of this. Like, she's the warrior, right? This inner warrior that I was talking about, coming up, rising up and saying, I'm done. I'm done with this. And then she's walking away with 8 of Cups. Walking away. It's like, let it all fucking burn behind you, Cancer. Let it burn. you know, she has no cares there, no fucks to give, right? She's like letting that burn away and she's done with it. Truly and truly done. And you are too, Cancer. I really feel you are done. But that process is what was needed. It's almost like you needed to get to that point where you were so frustrated and so over and so fucking done with it that you were ready to, you didn't care anymore about what you had to do, or maybe you were worried about hurting somebody in making an ending to this, but you had to stop caring about that in order to preserve your own self or to choose yourself in order to heal. And I feel like you guys did. And that is what is allowing this new beginning to manifest for you. You had to find that you had the tools within you all the time. You had the strength, and now you're manifesting, I feel, a new life for yourselves, this new start for yourselves. But it couldn't happen. It's like it couldn't come to fruition until you had found that inner strength and healed yourself. It's like you had to break free from this past pain. And then we have Seven of Wands, which I hear Stella got her groove back. Okay, Stella got her groove back. That is the energy of this card. This girl is like, I've got this. I've got this, okay? And then she's moving on with the Three of Wands right after. It's like all the good things, right? Cancer, all the good things coming. And this card to me also represents the hope and the belief that those good things are in fact coming. Because this girl, look, the ship isn't there yet, but she's waiting for it anyway, which implies hope. Remember we had that card of faith, you know, belief that yes, I can have it. Yes, I can have a good life. Yes, good things can happen to me. This thing that I've been wanting, that I've been hoping and praying for, it can happen, can come. And that is the new start. That is the new beginning with the Fool. Okay. New roots. So for some of you, there was a lot of root chakra work that had to happen here. So you may have had a lot of healing around your foundations, you know, what you stand for, what you believe in, what you stand up against. For some of you, you may have had to really sweep away some old painful foundation in order to recreate a new foundation to build upon, something fresh and new for yourself. Look, she's kind of standing there in these like old roots, but then behind her, there's like a brand new tree emerging. Okay. So you may have had to burn down something that was not for you in order to create something better. And that took a lot of inner strength, I feel, with the Strength card showing up. You guys had, like, this gives Leo vibes. Maybe some of you have some Leo in your chart too. But I kept getting that sense of the lion roaring, you know, that guttural strength, that inner like tenacity that it takes to say no more to something that is hurting your heart. Enough. It's like enough is enough. I can't take any more, and I'm not going to, and I don't need to, right? So you guys may have had some really strong boundaries here with either a situation or a person in your life or people in your life that allowed you now to crack open a doorway to bringing in some really good stuff. I kind of feel like this is the good news that's coming in. It's like new opportunities or almost this whole new journey that can start for you guys. And we have Seven of Coins, which is new seeds being planted here. Like you've done the work and you've really done a good job, I hear, Cancer, of creating something new for yourself that can really blossom and grow and bloom into something so much better. And I also feel like I'm being drawn to the color of her dress, which has sort of third eye chakra and like crown vibes with the purple and the deep indigo blue here. Some of you may have had a vision for yourselves or for yourself, your future, your life, that you almost gave up on, maybe because of past hurt or pain. But it's almost like you had to really go deep within yourself to find faith in the vision that you have for yourself, in what you could see as being possible for yourself. So it's almost like you guys had to learn not to give up on yourselves, but to believe and have faith that you could do it. You can do this, that you could have a better life. And I get victory. That has led to this victory. It's your belief. It's you healing your heart around this. You having that faith, believing you can heal, believing that you can have something better that is allowing this victory to manifest and to really anchor in. And you're going to feel like so blessed, I get, when this happens. You're just going to be like praising God, like so proud of yourself and so thankful that you did not give up on yourself, Cancer. You're going to be so happy you did not give up on yourself. Also, as I'm talking about this is random, kind of weird, and it may apply very specifically to a few of you watching and not to a lot of you. But I'm seeing like mouse ears on her head. So maybe some of you, it's like, I'm going to Disney World. Do you ever see those old commercials where they used to ask celebrities, they'd have this big accomplishment, and they'd ask them, well, what are you going to do now that you did that huge, awesome, amazing thing that you've been working on for so long? And they said, I'm going to Disney World. So I'm kind of getting those vibes with this. Maybe literally some of you have been trying to make a trip and you want to go to Disney World, and that's sort of a reward for, you know, a really difficult time or a way to help yourself heal or connect with your inner child in some way. I don't know, but I'm seeing that in this card. So I'm going to put that out there because it may resonate, make sense for some of you. And then 3 of Cups, celebration, energy, like good stuff coming in. All the cups. I'm hearing all the cups. Being full, this beautiful, golden, amazing light energy coming back into your life, coming back and filling your heart. Look, we had this card and it's this beautiful golden energy just filling his heart of love and healing and wholeness. It's like you're getting it, Cancer. The pain is done. You're leaving the painful cycle behind with this 6 of Swords. It's like that's what you had to do. You had to see that you could have better. You had to believe in yourself and you had to stand up for yourself. And that really has opened some doors. Let's get just a couple more cards from the tarot. What else do my Cancers need to know, Spirit? Okay. We have Knight of Wands with the Hierophant and the Princess of Cups. And so I really get, you know, Knight of Wands for me is like my new adventure card. It's like moving on energy. The Knight of Wands is a lot of passion and a lot of potentiality coming in and moving forward, moving things forward. So things are about to get moving for you now, okay? So it's like the lesson's been learned, whatever it was you had to break free from. I feel like you are doing it or you already just did it. And that is freeing up energy to move quickly, I feel, in a new and better direction for you. And I hear with the Hierophant to know that you've learned the lesson, and it's like it doesn't need to repeat. You know, once we really learn a lesson at a deep level, we don't have to do it again. And so maybe some of you were stuck in a cycle that you felt like you couldn't break free from, and you finally did it, okay? So take this then as your validation and confirmation that you did it. And I kind of feel like this good news that you're waiting on is somehow like vindication. It's almost like it is your confirmation that you did it, that you've arrived, right? You know, sometimes we there's things that we know, like, oh, when this thing happens, when I finally get here, when I finally own that first house, when I finally get that job I've been working so hard and studying to get, you know, it's like, that's when I'll know I've made it. It's almost like that kind of energy with this news that's coming in. I feel like you're waiting on it because it confirms for you what I think you already really know in your heart, which is that you've done it. Okay, Cancer, you've done it. You've learned to fill your own cup. This is heart healing. This is your own cup of love being full. But I really feel it's because you spread your own wings. It's like you created your own freedom here. You freed yourself, Cancer. This didn't come from anybody else. She's alone on that card. This isn't the Knight of Cups where somebody's offering you something to fill you. No, she found it within herself. And that's really, I feel, important, and it's a heart of this message today. Also, the Hierophant in this deck can be breaking free from religion or tradition. This can, again, with that Emperor, remember I saw that breaking free with the Emperor too. This can also be breaking free from authority, breaking free from an old paradigm where you felt lost or felt stuck or trapped. You see in this card how she's sort of stuck here behind his energy, trapped, like she can't get free or she can't make her own choices for herself, or she just feels lost, or like, and for some, you know, with the Emperor, that can be father energy too. So for some of you, maybe you had an overbearing father figure that caused a lot of harm emotionally for you, or you just felt under his thumb. But in the Hierophant card, you see how she's leaving now? She's exiting this space. And see how these almost look like the same space to me. I feel like this is almost like the same guy. It's like, she's like, I'm done with this now. I'm finally done with this. For some of you, this may not have been the same person though. So maybe you had like a situation, sometimes we have a wound that gets created by a parent figure, a father figure maybe, or a mother figure, or somebody in our life. And then we actually play it out with other people. So you might end up having like a romantic partner or husband who ends up being so much like that father figure that was harmful, or that was restricting you in some ways, or that really broke your heart and left you with some wounds to heal from. And we end up with this partner who shows them to us, right? Who is the mirror, who shows it back to us, where we find ourselves almost feeling like a cycle, like repeated, and it's there to teach us how to break free. It's to show the wounds to us so that we can heal them, right? So that we can break free, but we break free by going within and healing from the situation that caused the original wounding. And so for some of you, there may be some father wound healing happening here. For others, this could just be a situation or someone in your life that was controlling you, or that you felt controlled by. Okay, it may not be a person, an individual. It could be like a boss or somebody, or just like a toxic work situation. But I kind of feel like this could even be just a situation that you just felt beholden to, or felt like you could not get out of. And now you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You're seeing, no, I can be free of this. Finally, I can be free of this. But it's like you had to find your faith. You had to believe in yourself. You had to believe that healing was possible, or that better was possible for you first in order to do this. All right. One more question I just want to ask Spirit before we wrap to this reading, because it's getting a little bit long. I just want to know about this good news you got coming. What is this good news? And maybe the Disney World thing was part of it, but let's see if there's anything else that Spirit wants you to know, Cancer, about this really positive communication that I feel like is on its way. Whatever this is, Cancer, it's balancing out these. It's an indication of a balancing of energy, or that things are finally coming into balance again after a period of what I feel like was you struggling within, or feeling like you were struggling with a lot of burdens that you maybe felt like you had to carry, or carrying on your own. A lot of things that were on your back that you had to begin to see through or understand. And because we've got Temperance showing up, which can be a card of patience. And again, I did feel like you've been waiting for this news, or you've been waiting for this thing to shift for you, this communication that's coming that is good. And then we have the Hermit, which is the card of inner growth, but also going within the inner world. It represents sort of that inner world. And she's got the light there, and I'm really drawn to that fact that it's like she's illuminated this within herself, this thing that she needed to see. And what was she shining her light on? Well, it came out with the Ten of Wands. It's almost like seeing how something was weighing you down, or that you saw the burdens that you were carrying, and you had to start maybe taking those burdens out of your back or off of your shoulders one at a time. You had to really dismantle something that was heavy, that caused stress or worry or fear, anxiety, right? All right. And maybe it took some time to do that. Temperance can be a card of time. But ultimately, this good news, I feel, is an indicator that you did it and that it's all coming into balance. And then we have Wheel of Fortune, which is a fantastic card to end this reading on. Wheel of Fortune is things finally turning for you, right? The whole situation turning around. So whatever this news is, it is either the sign or symbol that you've been hoping for that says, yes, you did it, Cancer, and things are finally turning for the better. It's finally going to get better. Things are finally turning in the right direction. It's like that indicator that, yes, you finally achieved or accomplished what you were set out to do, or healed what you were trying to heal within yourself in order to create a better life. But also this can come in as opportunity. So Wheel of Fortune can be the new life showing up. It can be that phone call you've been waiting on that new job that's going to change everything, or that house that you have been so wanting to finally come through. All right. So this can be what you needed, or that legal situation that finally goes the way you needed it to. It's the good news. But I hear life-changing. It either is life-changing, meaning that the news itself is changing your life for the better, or receiving the news is your symbol, your indicator, your sign that this is where your life is going. It's changing finally for the better. And that is such a good place to be. But guys, it came as a result of all this hard work I feel you had to do within, this healing that you had to do within yourself. So be proud, Cancer, because whatever this was that was so difficult, I feel like you've finally done it. You've broken through it. And you are strong enough to do this. And you see that now. Those are your messages, Cancer. Take care. I will be back in a few weeks with more oracle messages for you guys. Bye.